just woke up a little bit ago. I've been processing the dream. Basically, I think it was like a mall or a strip mall or something like that, where there was multiple buildings and I was in a large group of people. It was like my family and family friends and like everybody. And we didn't need a car, but we did have some people that had kids and stuff drive in cars, like from building to building. They were far enough away that most people walked, but not everybody. And I had this baby with me. I don't know if it was mine or not. Maybe it wasn't. But this one baby I was supposed to be taking care of. And I was just carrying, it could have been a girl, but I think it was a boy. I was just carrying him around with me everywhere. You know, I didn't have the baby carrier or a sling or anything like that really. It was all arms. But me and this little baby were just like making our way downtown, you know? Walking through the buildings, but there was one building where I had to go back. I went back to get like a milkshake or something. It was mango because I gave the baby a little bit on my finger. It was like, I remember thinking like, I'm not sure if you're old enough for mango flavor yet, but like, here you go kid, just a little dab. I gave the baby just a little pinch of mango smoothie. But while we were on our way back from getting the smoothie, I decided to take a shortcut. I thought that it would be faster. And I walked around the side of the building and I was like, okay, this is an entrance. I'm just going to cut straight through the building and I will be able to get to the other building that's directly through it. So I figured instead of having to walk all the way around, I'll just go through and meet them at the building where they were going to. Logical enough in my mind, but I opened up the door and I went through with the baby, and there was just like all these sectioned off areas with curtains, and some of it was like the restaurant, the smoothie place that was out front, and behind it was almost like movie theater texture, there's a purple carpet, purple curtains, and I remember it feeling like a movie theater, but all of the sectioned off areas that were compartmentalized with the curtains, the people were having photos done. They were getting their pictures taken. But they were using all these old school cameras. It was like the kind that the camera people had to put a cloth over their head. I've only ever seen this in movies, I think. Which is strange because I haven't seen anything like that recently that would make me think this. But you had to put the cloth over the camera person's head, and they would hold up a stick, and then the stick would flash, and then they would take the picture with the main camera. It was all ancient technology at this point, you know what I mean? Definitely not new gear. But I don't think that the clothing symbolized any particular time period. It was just the technology. But why would they be using a early 1900s camera inside of a movie theater based Smoothie King? You know what I mean? It's like there's pieces that are jumbled here. You know how the brain makes sense of things. Sometimes you don't get a direct correlation to what you're actually looking at. Anyway, so I was a little bit concerned that I gave the baby cold mango drink way too soon, but it was just a little dab, so I wasn't too concerned. But at the same time, I was like, maybe we should get back to the others so I can ask. Because there were other, established parents there with their own adult children, not adult children, but grown children that were clearly past the infancy stage. This baby wasn't even old enough to be rolling over and stuff yet, just formula. That's all they drink at that age. So I was worried that I fucked up. But I wanted to double check, so I was trying to get back to them. Ugh. We ended up getting lost in that building for a little bit. I'm not sure. Like, there wasn't danger, there wasn't concern, but there was a feeling of like, I tried to take a shortcut here and now I can't get out. And I ended up having to cross some kind of barrier. It was like, it almost reminds me of what you see in those in old schools, where there would be like a dividing barrier between a big classroom, so that they could split one big classroom into two small classrooms. You know, it's like a sliding thing. And it almost reminded me of one of those, except it wasn't attached to the ceiling. It was just like folded, standing up, like a standing up barrier that you had to move. But it was a big, heavy barrier. So imagine it being the thickness of an actual wall, it being heavy, almost like an actual wall. And I had to take this heavy, folded, stand-up barrier that was creating a division to where I was trying to go. And I had to pry it open with one arm because I was holding the baby with the other. I could do it though, you know, like it wasn't an easy thing to move, but I could absolutely manage it. And I had to get through that barrier through sheer force of will. It was like I tried to take a shortcut and I had to go through all of these additional obstacles along the way, but I was able to prove to myself that I was capable of it. Because I think I have a particular, not fear, concern about, like, whenever I'm holding the baby, it's like I have to use both arms. You know what I mean? I'm still too nervous to really do it one-handed, one-armed. Like, I might take it off for a second or to grab something, to move something, but I always put the other arm back on. You know what I mean? I'm not super comfortable just one-arming a baby. But this entire time I was trying to get through this building, I had to one-arm the baby. And thank goodness he was well behaved. Like, he was spitting up a lot, but I didn't even care. Like, my shoulder was going to be whatever my shoulder was going to be after it was all said and done, but I needed to get through this building, you know what I mean? So, I think I actually grabbed like a napkin or something from the Smoothie King and tried to put it on there, but it wasn't doing anything, you know? Like, that amount of spit up is not stopping. The spit up and the drool was real. And, like, this is one of those dreams where I wasn't necessarily lucid. I am an avid lucid dreamer. But this one, it was more like I didn't know it was a dream. And it was very, very real. You know? Totally immersive. It was pretty wild, though. That baby was really cute. I can only hope that when I have a kid, it winds up as cute as that damn baby. Big brown eyes, dark hair, like, he was the cutest. And his onesie was like white, but it had a pattern on it, and it could have been dinosaurs, but I think it was gummy bears. I really think that this baby just had little gummy bears all over his onesie, and that's like the fucking cutest thing ever. Even though I would have chosen something that wasn't white. Mine would have been like blue or green or, you know, a color. I would have made it an actual color. The baby clothes that are out today are so much cuter than just like a onesie with gummy bears on it. I would do better than that. Just saying. But I eventually made it back through after opening that barrier and got all the way back to my family and my family friends without issue. And it was almost like proving to myself that I could handle it, you know? I probably could have gotten help from a stranger, but I didn't need it. I think this was about confidence. And there's nothing that will give you confidence like having to go through the fire. When you don't have a choice but to figure it out, you figure it out. Maybe that's the message here. No one is ready until you have to be. Then you become ready. Do or die. Sink or swim. You don't fail yourself in those moments. Thanks for watching, everybody.